goofy mood. So I thought, obviously, this is the best time to hang with you. My name's still Elliot. Hi. You know why I'm in a really good mood? I can't tell you. It's a secret. I'm a private person. The answer is always love. So as I do tarot today, it's going to be like, I'm not doing it randomly, but every query is love. If it's work, if it's family, it's like a intimate relationship. It's always love. So we'll be talking about love today. If I feel like it, we'll talk a little bit about the astrology, but I'll do this communal, like, I don't know, sign worship. I'll pull cards for signs. I'll always respond to queries, but nothing, except I like them. Big butts, I cannot lie. Those motherfuckers get denied. Good stun. That's what I'm talking about. That's it. That's all I got. I just feel like it. I just want to play with cards, and I do not do tarot for myself in the same way that I do tarot for other people. I probably just need a new deck. I'm kind of making one, but it's still, I need, even that's more shamanism and magic than, because this is like, it's like a tool of spirits for like divination, but like it's like family. You know what I mean? Like, it'll never tell me a straight answer because it loves fucking with me. It's a trickster. But if I'm doing it for you, I'm like, yeah, sure, man. Fucking this and that. Page prints. It's a Rider-Waite deck. You'll see it. Because I'll show you. And I'll pull a special card from my Ruby deck. For not each sign, because that's a lot, and I'll read from it because they're beautiful. It's Rumi. But I'll do it for each quality, which is to say, I'll do one for the cardinal signs, the fixed signs, the mutable signs, and I saw the signs. You know? Yeah. That's it. That's all I got to start. Okay. Let's do some. And hi, my name is Elliot, and I don't do anything really straightforward. I just kind of split the deck, and I got the King of Wands, and the Knight of Cups, and other cards. I mean, I could keep going, and they're all kind of. All right, there's a Seven of Pentacles, but it like fell, and then the Hierophant over that, and then no, it was a Seven of Cups. So King of Wands, King of, you know what? That's interesting. I'm not gonna even. I'm too fluxed. Oh yeah, Knight of Cups, 7, Hierophant, Death, Judgment. Some good omens. Good omens. It's getting hot in here. Let's get naked. I told you I'm feeling goofy because I went on a really nice walk. I'm in a state where I'm like super impulsive, which is for better and worse. And I just got frustrated with like everything. So I was like, I'm gonna go visit my grandpa, who lives like in one of the suburbs of the city, outside the city. It's like a 40-minute drive, and then I just drove like further. I just drove properly out of the city, and it's like the counties outside of Toronto. And went to Newcastle. And I went for a nice long walk around the township or whatever, and down some trails, and it was lovely. I never would have thought of doing that, but it's what I needed. It's so quiet. I mean, the town was bustling, but it's nothing compared to being in the city. And all the birds, and like the clouds are doing some really like trippy plasmic spirit being type things. It was a nice day. I watched it change from like misty and gray to glorious and back again, and then just glorious to stay. So that got me in a pretty good mood. I mean, among other good things, really. It's a lot of good things, but you only need one. I can't look. If I look, it's just going to keep, like, that's what I mean. I've got a very finicky relationship. Like, I just got the Justice card and the Two of Pentacles. Like, which is like, it's too much magic. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Actually, you know what? Fine. That'll be the answer. Ooh. Maybe not. The Queen of Swords. I was going to say, let's do things interestingly and let there be a card for like the whole shebang. And then we'll do like another card for the whole shebang. So we'll say, and we'll see how they kind of apply. I like it's like we've got the Justice. I'm just, yeah. Huh. No, it's too much. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. I haven't even asked you anything yet. Be quiet. Ooh, that's okay. Sorry, not sorry. Oh, that's super fascinating. Sometimes magic is annoying. We'll say that's the theme. And there's no more to say about it yet, because I kind of talked about it, right? Like, in one way, this is a king and a queen. It's really just like two crowned ones, right? Because this says queen, so we'll go with it. Queen of Swords. The Justice is androgynous, and the Knight of Cups. And the 11, which is also 10 and 1, and X and I. Okay. So, to be clever, we'll leave those out of the deck. I'll reshuffle all the cards except for those three, because now those three are like the taken. They're a little bit applicable to everything, so they can't apply to just one. Isn't that interesting? That's a little interesting. Okay, let's do it. I am going to pull up planetwatcher.com just to see what this guy's at and see what we can talk about it a little bit. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff. There's always interesting stuff. What's the point? The point is the only point. I want to connect us. I want to connect all of us. It's all my goal. And not for any end except itself as a means to be in the end for more love. And sometimes that means this bullshit world that we're creating. But the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And the further they can reach once they've pick themselves back up again. 7:37. Guidance. I'm gonna aim for, it's like me modeling who I appreciate. I'm going to offer myself as a vehicle to be a reflection of you, and to convey the sounds, the meanings that are seeds for more love in your life. Because more love in your life is more love in my life too. And I'm going to endeavor to certainly bound our intentions, our significance, our significators to the impersonal, which is paradoxically the omnipersonal. So that as we explore the stars through the cards, queries that we didn't know we had, and queries that are the only question we know, can similarly, simultaneously, most lovingly find progression and the next smile, wherever and however that may be. Okay? Okay, that's a good wish. Namaste. We'll go conventionally through the houses, right? The first house is Aries, and Aries right now. So the first house, so these cards is a message for everyone's first house. Check me out. We're having fun. I don't know. It's like, this is how I do it. It's like, this isn't how I do it. This is how I'm making it up right now, okay? This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Ta-la-la-la-la-la-la. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. It's Friday night and I feel alright. Party's still on the west side. I'm from my darling and I'm moving up. I know I skipped like a reason my truck. It was all as I'm faded. There's not a receipt to the money on me. There's sugar in my head. Now I'm just like doing my favorite parts today. The body's underway. End up in my odyssey. Because this is how we do it. Unpredictable love, but it does it. This is how we do it. We're not about it, we got much flavor. Once upon a time in 94, month under the money and life was so love, but that's all I know. I don't even know how the beat goes after that. So that's it. Melody drop. That's pretty much how I sing the song when it's playing. I might know more words when I'm hearing it, but I get the most important part. This. Okay, so this is how we do it. Because tarot's infinitely interesting. This is how we do it. I think that you did that. I'm just doing along with you now. Oh dear. But astrology is evolving with us. Like, if you imagine that part of our journey is replacing like Terra Gaia's, like the child, Terra Gaia's child Earth, essentially, back in like its path after its crazy little adventure, it's moving through space and time. And so, like, if our galaxy, fuck it, like lots of galaxies, I don't know, for as far long as the eyes can see, is moving collectively together in a universe that's infinitely larger than it, or nigh infinite, then it would seem like so much is not moving because so much is moving with us. But I don't know, man, you get it. And that's what's happening. So as a galaxy realigns itself with like the galactic like love train proper, it's not that our astrology is becoming like different or different by perspective. It's like the difference between singing a song that you remember when you were a kid and it was like the most popular song and you loved it, you still love it, you'll always love it, and then playing it before or after, and you're playing your other favorite songs that you can all hear perfectly, sing, and make up your own words to perfectly all at the same time. It's alignment, it's resonance, it's music, it's the truth. So Aries, and this is my hi Amelia, this is how I do everything. It's true. I'm so good at it. We're doing it because it's the first house. So whatever your first house, like my first house is Sagittarius. So I'm listening to Aries and I'm applying Aries is in my fifth house. So I'm like, okay, cool. That'll tell me a little bit of something about my my playfulness, my romance, my pleasure, my sensuality, sexuality, my childlike nature, children in general, and like in my kind of environments. And it's also going to tell me a little bit about my first house, my house itself, which happens to be Sagittarius, which they both happen to be fire signs. So that all kind of interrelates. Mars governs Aries, and Mars is in Pisces. So that's par for the fucking course, really. So Mars is at 12 degrees Pisces, which is conjunct by 2 degrees my moon. So first house, I'm looking at my fifth house. I'm looking at my first house. Pisces is my fourth house, obviously, because it comes right before it. But there's like a hidden layer there to interpret that Mars, the governor, like the exalted in Aries, or at home in Aries or whatever, is in one way of looking at it, the furthest house away from it. It's on all the way to the other side. But on the other end, it's like it's really just next door. And by happenstance, we call one and the other 12 instead of 2 and 3. So it's a beginning and an end, or it's just beside. And Mars is conjunct my moon. Why are you going screen saver? Oh, I get it. It's conjunct my moon, which is which governs Cancer, which is like my 8th. And the moon is in Virgo, and it's opposite Neptune. It's at 21 degrees Virgo, but my MC is 17 degrees of Virgo. So I haven't even pulled a card, and I'm pulling all kinds of like really relevant connections that I can deign. Am I going to sit here and be like, all of these? No, I've done it for so long that I just did it with you, and I'm like, I'm making all these different connections, but it's like really subconscious and integrated by now. And all your life, all you need to look for is what interests you, what catches your eye. And be open for your eyes. And let your eyes be open for beauty and closed to the unreal. Everything is an illusion. Illusions are useful. Like you're looking at me on a screen. This whole user interface is an illusion. I'm not really in this box. You know, this is an illusion, but it's a useful illusion. In that regard, some are real illusions, and the others are unreal. Because reality is a quality. Really, it's like, what's real? It's like, I don't know. For me, it's what lasts, what I choose, what mirrors most closely what isn't an illusion. And I don't need to know what that is. I don't even need to see that because that probably wouldn't make any sense to me. But right, like 01001100100, flicker, flicker, flicker. That's actually what's happening right now. That's what I really am on your screen. But that's not useful. So it's representing me in pixelated form as a mirror reflection, literally, because it's like, it's not like you're sitting across from me. It's like you're sitting next to me and you're looking at me in a mirror. That's what I look like. This is my right hand, but to me, in your eyes, it's my left hand, right? That's just like mainstream fuckery to fuck with your brain, but you're better than that. More toy. I think I've like explained enough the capacity for your interest gathering. Yeah? All right. I don't know if, because like I can go for ages. And if you're curious about your own astrology, hit me up and we'll go from there. Because I love this shit. Obviously. Otherwise I wouldn't know anything about it. Aries. All the Aries watching. We'll ever watch. All the Aries we love. We'll ever love. Something that can help. That first house. Fire. E. Cardinal energy. If there was any. Okay. So we've got the 7 of Cups and the Knight of Swords. Underneath the 7 of Cups is the Worlds, which is 21. We've got the 7 of Cups, which is 7. They're perpendicular to each other. So this tells me, what I'm getting from this is that there's like light is a coaxial circuit, like etheric circuit, and it's traveling. It's like a dielectric waveform and a magnetic waveform, traveling longitudinally and transversely. So it's like, and then when they connect, they pulse, and that's every single like photon. Photons aren't real things, but light moments that we see. So that's what this looks to me. That's what I'm getting from it. And then this was the only card that really came out. This kind of split, and it came out sideways. So we've got the royalty of justice and the Queen of Swords with the Knight of Cups. And then we've got another horse. We've got two more horsemen, the 13 and the Knight of Swords. I always really relate to the Knight of Swords because when, like, I don't know, one of those calculators, like, it's like, find out your birth tarot. The Knight of Swords was me, was like my birthday, but it was, I don't know. It's not hard or fast, but that's the whole story actually. That's it. Because I've also got another calculator where it's not. It's like a Kabbalic. I'm going to just keep going. But I hope that I've already offered you something that makes sense to you. But what do nights mean? The key to reading anything is deciding that you believe what you reasonably can figure out for yourself based on what you've already gathered. And then my intuition is I read the tarots intuitively, so not what they mean, but also I'm deeply like studied of their esoteric meanings as well. So I just do whatever the fuck I want. I'm going to tell you. And this makes sense. Like, this is like speaking to like the collective as well as like our most personal. It's the first house. This is all of us. This is the us. We're not the same. We're not who we used to be. That not only has that died, but like we've been playing out. We've been playing out this role of like we've been playing out history. We've been stringing together multiple times, multiple probabilities, multiple possibilities, and we've been not just picking the best one because there was like, I don't know, some game playing, and we're making one up entirely new. That wasn't one of the 7. It wasn't one of the 6, right? Like, you see how right there at the top, there's the ringed red one. That one, there's 6 cups and a 7th cup, which is formed. That, right? That's what I'm saying, anyways. Wow, that's fucked. That makes 7. And as much as Buddy's like kind of seeing them all, if you imagine a bow and our love, our interest is the arrow, like this is the placement. This is where the arrow ends and stays, or rather ends up, right? Because that's the arrow, right? And that these are all the different options. There was the angelic timeline. There was the jewels, the knowledge, the wisdom, the wreath. You know, there was the dragon, the blob, the tower, the snake. It's the stories, yeah. And then maybe this cup was empty, and it's not empty anymore. Most importantly, Aries, what you already know, basically. And that the Knight of Swords is almost like turning into the Knight of Cups. After turning into death. Because the Queen of Swords and the Justice card are almost like, I feel like they're almost like they're at the end of time. They're at the beginning of time. And they're just telling the story. And the Knight of Cups is carrying the story through time. All right. I don't want this to last a million years, so we'll keep going. Mars for me is in Cancer. At 0 degrees Cancer, actually. So it's the North Node is just past my Cancer in Gemini now. So the Mars and the Moon connection is obviously really strong for me in my life. That governs family. In the 4th house, Cancer is also like the mother's energy, Capricorn being the kind of father energy. But also the 10th house being the father energy and the 4th house being the mother energy. So that's interesting. An energy from going from the kind of the father to the mother. But all in like Mars. And Taurus, governed by Venus, my Venus is in Taurus at 3 degrees, so near the beginning as well. But Mars in watery Cancer is like not in its element, and now it's in Pisces, not in its element. The only other water sign is Scorpio, and which is the 8th house. That's where my Capricorn is. And we're back at the father energy. I'm not telling you my astrology as much as this is the opportunity of astrology. It's like, but you're just like reaching for meanings. It's like, if you don't reach for meanings, how is meanings going to reach back to you? And in ascertaining the truth about anything, don't think what you want to believe and then make it true. Like, decide what you want to believe and then dare the universe to prove you wrong. It's not so much a refusal to believe, because you have to accept your truth as it continues. But ask and you shall receive. Whoa. That came out for Taurus. So we got 8 of Cups. I decided if I'm going to reverse or not. And the Devil. The Devil. And the 8 of Cups. And the World at the bottom. The Devil card is always, I'm just a lover of paradox and mystery. And it's never been lost on me that the Devil card is like an inverse reflection of the Lovers, which is going to be my favorite card because holla back at your boy. I'm Elliot and I'm a lover. But I'm also a devil. And I will never see the man and the woman, whether they're in bondage or not, as anything other than at least together. And angels, demons, it's like, well, that just depends on who you are. right? Like it's because but my interpretation is like imagine the void. It is like you could drift apart. You can go anywhere, right? Like how do you like you anchor, right? So when I look at the devil card, I can't help but notice also like it's not ideal maybe, but they're anchoring, and there's a grace here because uh, just noticing for the first time really. They typically like what is it, the Baphomet or whatever has breasts, but it's I guess it gets to be androgynous too. I don't know. It's pretty male figure-ish. It's a fucking monster thing, so it's like it's not a man or a woman. Let's be real. Um, where's Venus right now? So I thought Gemini at 15 degrees Gemini. My sun is 19 degrees Gemini. So Mars is conjunct my moon, and Venus is conjunct my sun in retrograde. Right? And just shy of Chiron, which is at 10 degrees, I think, for me, or 9 degrees, which is where the sun is. And at 8 degrees of Taurus is Uranus, which is at 15 degrees of Sagittarius for me. So now I've got first house, right? So like, where's your Uranus? Where's your sun? Where's your Venus? What's your second house? Do any of these help you decide what things can mean? Because what I'm deciding really is there's uh, I don't see this as I don't see this as bad because I'm not that guy. What I see this is like as necessary, like fate and like life and existence is the marriage of necessity and reasonability and mystery. Because love does the thing about love is that it doesn't have to be. Love can be destroyed. Love is the only game that the creator plays. Love is the only game the creator can lose. And why would you play a game when you can lose? The only thing that's important is that because you can gain, not like a gamble, but like I love you. Like, and with the 8 of Cups, there's a completion. With the 8, which you think of as 4 and 4, but 8 is not 4 and 4. 8 is 5 and 3, which are both dynamic creator numbers. 3 being like the creation number, and 5 being like building. It's the house of like of hardship through creation. Not the house, but maybe that was a Freudian slip, because I guess that's why we play. But I was thinking of the 5 of Pentacles. Let's move on. And the second house is the second house of possessions. Do you possess? What do you possess in your life? And then the possessions. This is also Capricorn, which is my second house. Stop fucking with me. And then let's not forget the world. Right? Like, what if this is just one coin? And that's the signs of it. This has been this whole Capricorn nodal transit and like time in all our lives has been a really growing lesson for me in what our possessions are, because I don't really identify with anything that I have. I'm Pisces moon though, so what up? Like, none of this is really here to me anyways. And everything is always everywhere for me, everywhere, always. So it's like, whatever, man. But to like have a body. And then how, to our possessions, do we own them or do we possess them? Like, I'm possessed by a demon. But what if I was possessed by my soul? And if my soul is like eternal and nigh infinite, and, or at least broader and denser or more interesting in energy, then via my and our possession of the soul, we're also in possession of all of this, and not like we own it, but like we are invested in it. So look to your second house, look to your Venus, look to your investments, which you manifest as, because they're what bind you to life. That bind you to what's important, and it's going to come with some pain. It's going to come with some discomfort. But you know what never feels pain and never feels discomfort? Not alive. Right? It's like a mistranslation. The whole like Buddhist, like, all life is suffering. All life, everything is suffering. Yeah, that's only if you're an idiot. Not, I don't mean that. I mean, like, that's, I'm speaking like to the greater culture, because like actually I know I do mean that, because anybody that like the cool yogis that I know, it's like they hear that and it's like, fuck you. It's like, I'm sure he means right. I'm sure he's right. I get it, but I also don't get it, because fuck that. And that's why I use that word suffering. But if we shift suffering away from abuse, because I won't stand for abuse. That's injustice. It's like, it's not, there's no system. It's outside of necessity and reasonability. Suffering, sometimes necessary, by virtue of the only avenues that we know how to take. Right? Suffering is what we call what we've overcome when we talk about what we used to have to do. But it doesn't have to be abusive. Let's go on to Gemini. And I'm Gemini sun. My birthday's coming up. It's 8/11. That's cool. In 10 days. That is fucking cool. Can't make this shit up. So we got the Page of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, Page of Pentacles. For me, there's all the core cards are zodiac signs. So the Queen of Swords, the Knights aren't. They always represent movement, like towards or away, which is the same thing really, beginning in it. The Queen of Swords is I want to say Virgo. Hmm. Uh, oh, that's interesting. The Page of Cups is Capricorn. I'll just do them all right now. So the Page of Swords is Taurus. The Queen of Swords is Virgo. The King of Swords is Libra. The um, Page of Cups is Pisces. The Queen of Cups is Scorpio. The King of Cups is Cancer. The Page of Wands is Sagittarius. The Queen of Wands is Leo, and the King of Wands is Aries. But I personally, because I'm Sagittarius, Sagittarius is a little bit like, yo, I'm the king. I'm the king, bitch. So I'm always, it's like whenever I see a Page of Wands, that's always Sagittarius. But sometimes when I see a King of Wands, I'm also like Aries, Sagittarius. Also, I'm Gemini, but I was born 2 months early. So at 9 months, I was in Leo. So I always like, and my Pars Fortune, Pars Futana, uh, is conjunct Regulus, which is at the end of Leo. So I've got some Leo energy. I love that shit too. Where are we? We're at Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is Capricorn. Queen of Pentacles is Aquarius. And King of Pentacles is Gemini. I didn't make that up. I did read it in a book, but it resonates with me. Why I like it is all the pages, like the Page of Capricorn. For me, pages are the prince and princesses. They represent a beginning energy, but they're also who will one day be. They're the next kings and queens. Which is why Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, they are the most mature of their element of the signs. Aries, Gemini, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, they're like the child. And then Leo, Virgo, Scorpio, Libra. Did I miss one? Anyways, they represent like that middling energy. And I just like that. Anyways, I like what you like. Gemini. It's because I don't do this enough on this channel, so it's like I always have so much I can share. This is what's really interesting. So the bottom of the deck, we have Four of Wands, Page of Pentacles, which can be Capricorn energy, or can just represent like a younger, like I want to Capricorn, and the page is like go-getting, industrious, like kind of like has all of an idea, but it's still just the beginning of an idea, but doesn't, they think it's like all the idea, and it's beautiful, right? And then the Six of Swords, but this is what was really trippy. And then I had the Seven of Swords, the Seven of Wands, and the Chariot. So that's 777. 7776. 7 and 6 is 13, which is a divine number. And again, because I'm thorough, and anyways, yeah. Gemini, third house of communication. I call it the third house of connection. It's how the self and what it possesses connects to everything else. So for me, it's like the house of concrete knowledge. Ninth house is like the house of higher learning, like theoretical. Whatever the most non-theoretical learning is like the third house. I've got Jupiter there, so I've got a lot of, and Aquarius, so I've got a lot of that. It's like my it's where I get all my energy basically. Because other places get drained. I did say I've got Uranus in my first house, right? Gemini, there's been a real struggle for standing what you believe in. And this is me, but this is all Geminis. And this is like the North Node. And it's not because he's fighting. He doesn't need to be. He's it's Stonehenge, motherfucker. You know, like he's the top of a mountain, and he got to the top, and he's encircled it with these staves, and now he's at the top, and he's at the center, and every one of those staves represents someone. Seven is the number of faith. 6 is the number of adjustment. And with the chariot and the double 7, this card's often read as like the card of deception. I see it as looking one way, but moving the other. So I'm just seeing this for the first time. This motherfucker is walking backwards, collecting the swords to move forwards. But when everything's fucking reversed and upside down, right? Like the swords are upside down, and so he's walking backwards, looking over his shoulder, picking them up to get to where you never let your eyes off of. And then you put them in your boat. You only take 6 because like one's from homies. And by the time you get to where you're going, your swords have turned into ones. And they're the foundation for your home, the 4 of Wands. And there's nothing that you can do to stop it, because the chariot is the divine. It's like it's the divine path. The chariot is like when you fall out of the way, you're out of the chariot. But ultimately, there is a path, and that is the path. And Page of Pentacles is offering not just a new beginning in like energy, but again, kind of looking to the king or the royalty. It's like there's an energy of becoming. All right, Gemini. Ooh, and underneath this, looking backwards. It's looking backwards at the bottom of the deck, right? And then looking backwards, what's he see? The Wheel of Fortune. It's like, is it reverse? It's not reverse. Doesn't matter. What do you see? Aquarius, the Queen of Pentacles, and in Gemini is King of Pentacles, right? So there's like another queen too for the Queen of Swords. So Virgo, Aquarius energy, Judgment. So 20, 10, another 6. No way. Okay, I'm stopping after this because this is getting stupid. 6, which is people like, it's like, this is the victory card. It's like, sure, man, I'm all for victory cards, but we've got another horse, right? So this is the Knight of Cups again, kind of rearing the representation. This is, for me, is into battle, right? Which is, for me, a good thing, right? Because they're not going in there like the 7 of Wands, going in there like the 6. After the battle's won, you ring them, and you mount your hill, and then no, I'm stopping. Okay, this is where I'm stopping because I'm stopping, which means just that same cups victory into battle. It's got a fiery wand energy, and then the King of Wands. So King of Wands, or Aries energy, or Sagittarius. But see how it's getting stupid? Like Queen, Aquarius, King, Aries. It's not Sagittarius, it's Aries. Because underneath is Sagittarius. Maybe I'm just being fucked with. Maybe it's you fucking with me. But that's 3 6s, 3 7s, a King of Wands, a Queen of Pentacles, Chariot, a 7 and a 2 with a 9. There's just a lot of love there. It's a 7, a 2, and a 9, and then what's underneath the Sagittarius card is the 9 of Wands. So we got the 6 to 9. There's a lot of, as like a nodal reading. This is, if I was gonna say, like, the energy's been like about completion for a long time. It's like fucking completion. This is after completion. This, whatever this is after completion. What do you call it? I don't know. We've never really done it before. It's after completion. I want to say buckle up because it's all good. I say so. Gemini. Yeah. Thank you for that. I'll take it. All of it. I'll take good care of it too. Oh, unless we forget. Rolling. Rolling like a river. Cancer. The vertex of my natal chart is 13 degrees of Cancer. So I've got 0 degrees Mars, Cancer, and 13 degrees is the vertex. The vertex is like where the ecliptic plane and the horizontal plane, which is like your ascendant descendant line. So if the sky looking straight up is like your MC-ish. On the eastern horizon is your ascendant. On the western horizon is your descendant, and that like line of sunlight or like daylight / nightlight, right? That line, as it intersects with the ecliptic plane of like the galaxy, like that's the vertex. And so for me, that's Cancer, and it's 13 degrees of Cancer, which is 13 degrees of Cancer is the dog star, Sirius. So I've got a history with Cancer. It's also my 8th house. It's like death, rebirth, blah blah blah. I'm so tired of Cancer. 8th house is governed by is governed by Scorpio. So if you look to where Scorpio is in your chart, which for me it's the 12th house, where there's Saturn. Right, so just for you, look to your 4th house, family, right? Because after you connect, what's there? It's like what you love. It's like your history. It's your ancestors. It's also it's your legacy. Although that's more to the 10th. 4th house is more like ancestry. 10th house is more like legacy. Cancer is governed by the moon. So look to your moon. Where's that? And as a reminder, the moon is at 21 degrees of Virgo. Just making that connection right now. Which is across from Neptune at 20 degrees of Pisces. It's a very powerful opposition. Wow, we're at an hour. So I don't care. We're just hanging out. Do you care? Okay, cool. I don't care. Let's just do it. Cancer. It's a special reading, anyways. I don't really do this because I can't help but give like top secret information. Such a nerd. Maybe we'll do half the zodiac and half not. It's like it's just telling me. Okay, we got the King of Cups and the Knight of Wands. So King of Cups is the Cancer card. And bottom of the deck is that one to like, it's like, don't forget me, I'm here, is Judgment. So we've got the Knight of Wands, the King of Cups, and Judgment. Cancer. Your heart has been judged, and it has been found lighter than the feather. Redeemer, oh Redeemer. You've done your ancestors. Proud is not enough of a word. Honor is closer. They honor you. They are honored by you. They honor themselves more by virtue of your truth, because you're them and they're you, and you've shown them a side of themselves they didn't know they had. Because you've only ever seen it for the first time through your eyes. Cancer, this Gemini season, just be mindful of tumultivity. I want to say like not necessarily fast moving, but like when I backpacked Europe like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, something like that, 10, 12 years ago. I went to like 13 countries in like 6 weeks, something stupid like that. I don't know, it was something ridiculous. Like I was like England, um, like London, Paris, Amsterdam, Prague, Budapest, Vienna, Venice, Florence, Athens, Eos, Santorini, and then back in like 5.5 weeks. It was fucking ridiculous. I saw a lot in a little, with a little. But in a way, it's like really, it wasn't bad. It was just like, just be aware of like, and it doesn't even feel like all of a sudden, it just feels like strong, powerful movements that are not sustainable, but they're not supposed to be. Like it's just like you're sustaining them for a short period of time, and it's coming from a result of the lightness of of the judgment in your favor, in the form of love and like abundance. The flow is being brought to you and planted, and like that Gemini kind of 7, it's like the planting is going to be a little burp, 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 burp. But have fun with it. That's my intuitive reading. Okay. Leo, 5th house, governed by the sun, which is in Gemini. So look to your 5th house, look to your sun sign. See, so that's why Leo's a little bit like, we're so special, because like really everybody can look to their to Leo for a little bit of flavor about their sun. So like I'm Gemini, and I was meant to be born, but at 9 months I would have been born a Leo. So it's always been a little bit of something. Also, like my brother, who's born 2 months after me, exactly to 14 months to the day. I'm June 9th, he's August 9th. And I was born 2 months early. He obviously is a Leo, so I've just got a lot of Leos around me. I'm sensitive to the Leo energy. Wow, I'm sharing a bunch of shit on this. Look at me coming out of my Cancer shell. And yeah, that's it. Look to your 5th house. Look to your sun. And look to where Gemini is, because that's where the sun is, and you can find out about your Leo placement a little bit as it travels through Gemini. Okay. Get some love for the Leos, the Leo energy in everyone's chart, because everybody's fucking awesome. That's cool. I love it when you're not fucking with me. Okay. We've got 3 of Swords in the bottom deck, and the 2 cards that came out, and the 3. So that's more interesting than I thought. I'm going to turn the light on some because it is dusk. It's getting dusky. Three of Swords, Three of Pentacles on the top of the deck. That Six of Wands is underneath it. And then the two cards that came out were the Knight of Pentacles and the Four of Cups. So that wand energy, that fiery, creative, like stimulating, but also needing to be stimulated. It's like a candle or a tree, you know, it can be used, but it needs to be nurtured, or it'll use itself up, or whatever. The Three of Swords is turning into the Three of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is delivering the Four of Pentacles as the Three of Pentacles via the Knight of Cups. Because the Knight of Cups is just the delivery man of this fucking reading. The delivery knight, the delivery person. Because I don't know if that's a man or woman, like riding that horse, truth be told. I think the Knight of Pentacles and the Four of Cups is a super fascinating / super clear kind of like, this is Jesus under the tree, or the Buddha under the tree. Right? This is the third dimension, and this is the fourth. You can only see when you see the tree when you close your eyes. So Leo energy, romance, playfulness, just believe. Because I'm not going to side with heartache. I'm going to say, because sometimes suffering is necessity, and what you didn't let go of is turning into something that is going to create the structures for the rest of your life. And I'm only seeing this now for the first time. But prepare for something. Prepare for something institutional. Not just working together, but, and I mean institutional, I mean by like in your life. Like something that you've planned for, or you wrote about, or drew pictures of, or like have an idea of in your mind being created, coming to fruition. Not necessarily via someone else, but nothing is ever created in a vacuum. So, and also there's that night energy and the delivery, and it's love, right? It's like this. It's again, everything is kind of going through the Knight of Cups. It's the flow. The flow is getting muddy. We're getting clay. I'm not going to read too much into it, because we can just keep going through the deck. But, I like that card. I like that card. But new beginning, the Fool. So just be mindful. It might be a little foolish, but you're a fool. Fool for love. don't give up, because these have been long planted, and it's this like the divine arrow. This is the Queen of Swords, reborn, birthing. It's the first and the last. It's the deciding, right? People like, it's like the sword is the word. What makes swords dangerous is they're cutting away. Cutting away is only dangerous for deciding what won't be. So when you cut away everything else, then what's left is everything. So just be ready for everything. And when it feels overwhelming, remember that you don't have to hold on to anything. Everything is holding on to you. Okay, what are we at? I'm getting a little lengthy here. It's getting dark. Let's say we take a break. I'll do one more because that'll be 6. And then we'll have 6 more. Right? Right. Okay. No, I don't care. Let's take a break, and then we'll do the rest when I pick this back up. But I promise that the next video I make is going to be the continuation of this. Okay. Fun. And maybe I'll edit the name of this so that it says, but I don't really care. Do you? I think so. So, but we will keep this going because the Queen and Justice, the Knight, they're not going back into the deck. They're like holding our place. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for indulging me. Always. And the beautiful day always reminds me of the only beautiful things. So thank you for being a part of that. I hope that anything that I said, even one thing, made a part of your best day. Will. So pretty much same as always. I will soon and always love you dearly. Closer every single day. Until again. Namaste. I'm still Elliot, and you're still Elliot too.